Greetings, everyone. QC Runner Games, and today we are going to cover the steps that are required to make five-star babies. It's our five-star dwellers. It's actually very simple, and it's a repetitive process you do, and you will have a squad full of five-star members. Um, Ultimately, let's start with the beginning with the star level for a dweller. Each star level equates to 20. See if this shows anything. Here you go. 20% or 20 points on what they're capable of doing. The only people that can get above 55 is the fighters. So if we look here at, let's look here, highest is 55, 55, 55. So you can get by having 3 stars for your bankers and your cooks because the highest they can get is 55. So the 3 star will get you up to 20 plus 20 plus 20, so it'll be 60. So you don't need to have a 5 star everywhere. Me being kind of, I want to have everything being 5 stars. So my goal was to have a whole castle full of 5 stars, and I've actually done that on every game I've ever played, or all of my accounts that I'm currently running. But that is certainly not needed. The max of the 5 stars that you would need if you take your game to the end game at this point is 12, because for competing in Djembe, you can have up to 12 different fighters. So you would want all of them, theoretically, you would want all of them up to level 100. So you would want 12 fighters at level 100. Um, or you can, go with my approach and just make everybody. So the steps are: you basically come to the living room, take your highest male dweller and your highest female dweller, whatever they are, and you're gonna use these steps. So you'll put your highest male in there, and as long as it fits into your castle and you're not using a male for anything, you're pretty much just going to leave that male locked in until somebody comes in that's higher that's going to replace. And he's going to be studying out to taking care of business, I guess we'll say. So then you have your highest male and your highest female in there, and they will do their thing for, I believe it's an hour and a half. I'm not exactly sure on the timing. And after that, the female will become pregnant, and she is pregnant for, I believe, an hour and a half as well. Um, and from that point, she will have a baby, and the baby is going to take 6 hours to grow up. So this whole process takes a little bit of time. Um, so let's say theoretically you have a 2 star and a 2 star. Those are your highest that you have right now. Once once your female is pregnant, you can move her out of the living room or leave her in, depending. Because at the beginning, I think you can have one couple in, so you'd have to move the female out and then move another one in. So you would want to basically be keeping this going constantly. So just leave the male in there and then bring another female in there and keep going. And eventually, like I said, you can. Actually, I don't know if I said that, but you can make a baby that is 1 star higher. So if you have a 2 star male and 2 star female, you can make a 3 star. Keep in mind that you can make a 2 star and a 1 star as well. And that's the case when you breed a 5 and a 5, you can also produce a 1 star. So breeding a 5 star does not guarantee you will get a 5 star. You have the potential to get a 5 star. So with the 2 and the 2 in our example, the highest you can get is a 3 star. So you would breed until you got your first 3 star. And if it was a male, you would replace your male in the living room with the new male and just leave him in there. And just keep going with the females until you're able to generate another, either a 3 star, but if you have a 2 and a 3, there is a chance to create a 4 as well. Not as high of a chance as if you had a 3 and a 3, but if you have a 2 and a 3, there's a chance for a 4. So again, you're just going to rinse and repeat. And the more higher level dwellers you have, the higher your chance and the more often you're going to produce the higher stars. So once you start getting some 3 star women in there, then you're going to try to primarily use them because they're your higher chances of producing a 4 star. And then you're going to keep going with your 4 stars and go, and then you'll get your first 5 star. And definitely when you get your first 5 star male, you're going to keep them in there until you can get a steady amount of 5 star females. Um, and you're just going to keep going in and keep going in. And like I said, you can certainly produce a 1 star with a 5 and a 5, but you can also produce a 5 star. So that is pretty much the plan. You just keep going, and it takes time. And then the more 5-star females you get, the quicker it's going to go to replace your entire castle. At some point, you're going to have your entire castle full, so then you need to start kicking some of the individuals that are not, your 5-star at the goal you want. So I would start with your lowest, start with your ones and your twos, and maybe even your threes. You just do one at a time, and then when another baby comes, if it's something that's higher than what you already have, or if you're going for all 5-stars and this one's not, maybe kick no matter what, and keep going until you get your 12 fighters or 12 dwellers that are 5-star or your entire castle. That's what your goal is. It's something that usually can be knocked out in a couple weeks if you're pretty constant about it and trying to constantly keep people breeding in the living room. And if you keep doing that, it goes fairly quickly. So like I said, um, if you follow my guide before, you're getting up to TR to level 6. That's the max you can get a fighter is up to 40. So going from 0 to 40 in training doesn't take super long. So you could take your 3-stars or even your 2-stars, actually, and use them as your fighters and keep them in your arena fighting and everything else that you're doing, and just focus on these new ones to try to get up to 5-stars. And then once you get your 5-stars and you have some extras that are not working on doing your breeding plan, you can start dumping them into your fighter training area so they can start getting to be level 40, which should happen fairly quickly. And then once you get some level 40 fighters, then you can start kicking your lowers. But there's no need to have more than a 2-star if you're at level TR6. But my whole thing is I don't want to have to go through training everybody again, so I try to get to the 5-stars as soon as possible. And if you happen to have like a 3 or a 4-star and you're at level 70 for your fighter, they're not going to be able to get to TR9 because you can't get to 85. So you would have to find a 5-star and you have to start that whole process and train everybody from 0 up to 85. And that is a very long time. So rather than repeating that training process, I just started very early with the 5-star. And I think I did it at TR6. So by the time I was done with TR6, I had a castle full of 5-stars. That is my recommendation, but it's certainly not required. Like I said, you don't need to have a full castle, but I would certainly shoot for 12. Gem Bay doesn't open even for a while yet, so you don't need to do that at TR6. And some people recommend even waiting later. But for me, there's plenty of time. You're just waiting, not doing much, so it's a good enough time to do it. So that pretty much wraps up the guide on 5-stars. I know I didn't cover all the details exactly as great as I wanted to, but I got to point out that basically you take your highest male, your highest female, and then you can produce a baby at a level 1 higher than that. But again, you will produce many that are not. So you just do that until you get to the highest level. And right now, that is a 5-star, and the highest level you can train anybody is to 100. So if those change in the future, I would repeat that to try to create a 6-star or whatever it needs to be to get to the next higher level. And that wraps up the 5-star guide. One thing I wanted to do, which doesn't really fit into the theme of this video, is I got a gem. Cash is up to 6 million. I got a gem I wanted to try to merge to get some blues. So, merge, there we go. So I don't have many blues, purples, and I have no reds. And a lot of the people I'm fighting are full of purples and reds, and that's why they're at 3 and 3 million plus power. And I'm nowhere close to that because, well, one, I don't have a full squad of 100 yet, which is less than a month away now, but also I don't have that many extra gems. So when I can, I'm trying to level up the gems that I can. So one I was going to do was, I believe it was that one. I haven't looked at it for about a day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this one. And then I have an extra one down here. So 1.5 million. Right now I have a 7% chance. I'm going to throw the scroll in there. And so 4 out of 5 times I will successfully merge. Yes, there we go. And if it's unsuccessful, your stats go down and you have to remax your gems before you can try to merge them again, and you have to pay another 1.5 million in gold. So that's why you can see that things add up fairly quickly. And that's also why gold is so important when you get up here. So that was for Evan. And here we go. Now Evan has, I believe it was this one. No, it was not. It was armor. It was this one. So now I got 3 purples and 2 blues. Not bad. A long way to go to get to be competitive with everybody else, but that bumped me up a teeny tiny bit in power, like 1,000. Um, but it's all adding up. So that was it. There's a lot more stuff I could do, but we're gonna keep the theme of this video to the 5-star breeding, and also try to keep it a little bit shorter. And just to note, not sure, since things are a little bit slow right now, I might pop in a couple other games, or maybe show some arena battling or something like that with the content being a little bit slower, and especially at this my TR10 account, it's all about building, and I need things to happen to build. Um, and there's a lot of the grinding. So a lot of the grinding I need to do is to get cash here so I can merge my gems, and I need to actually get gems, and I get that by doing gem bay. I don't have a gem build for my account. Um, One of my other accounts, I might actually try to do that, so I might be able to discuss it when I get there. We can go through that effort here on the channel. But right now, the goal is just to grind a bit. So I might put a couple of other games in, like Idle Heroes, or Idle Miner Tycoon, I think it's called. It's another one that I spent a little bit of time on here and there. And there's a new event there starting tomorrow, so maybe we'll add that one on the channel tomorrow. So with that, I will wrap it up. Excuse me. Feel free to leave a comment if there's any questions or comments you have, and drop a like if you like the video.